knockout bill here with a few projects. Blocks that I'm working with here. This here's a good example. This was also seized pistons. I popped the pistons out. One was, I'll show you guys. One was a bad piston. I tried the Metal Rescue. It's in the red. I tried Metal Rescue, and I was able to get one piston free. This one, and it's in really decent shape. This piston. Yeah, there's some. It's smooth here. It's just some bristles, but no deep scars. Some divots, very light. I'm gonna try to salvage this one. This piston. I have a new piston on the way. This is not a score. I mean, it looks like it's scored. Actually, it looks worse via the camera's eyes than it really is. But I think it's in usable shape for what I'm trying to do. I want to get it running. I don't need 120 compression, so we're gonna see if we can at least put everything back together and get it running. If I can't, worst case scenarios, this was a junk block anyway. This was me just taking it apart just to see how to do it. I may, if it fails, I may take it back apart. Maybe we can order some new pistons, because I got these cylinder walls are in pretty decent shape. I honed them already, and there is no scoring at all. And this was the seized one. This power head was seized as well. This is a 7.5 horsepower. So I believe that this one can be salvaged with some new pistons, new piston rings, yada yada. I'm gonna try to use the old stuff because it's not easy to find parts for this online. I know they're there, but if I cannot spend the money, I don't want to. So at this point, I hit the head with the wire wheel. I wasn't gonna do this, but I figured, what the heck. I didn't get it shiny enough, so I wasn't happy, so I hit some sandpaper to it. You can see there's still some blemishes, but we're just gonna run with it. As bad as everything else is, the head's in okay shape. I'm gonna keep it dirty. I don't think this motor's gonna run, and if it does, I don't think it'll last long. So we're gonna use the original gasket since there's no brakes or problems with it. We're just gonna throw some of this, again, Brandon's Garage gasket sealing compound. I'm gonna use that on the gasket here, just so I can get as best seal as I can. Okay, so I'm putting the 7.5 back together, and I wanted to show what it was like to put the 5.5 together, but I just kind of got involved. Following, again, I'm going to link Brandon's Garage to a lot of these videos because I'm trying to follow what he does. But these 50s motors don't have like the roll bearings. They just have these rod caps, so I don't think you have to line up the sides as accurate. I also don't really know what I'm doing. So what I did was I put it together. I put some gear oil here, 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 and then I sprayed the surface area with brake cleaner to clean it up as best as I can get it. And then I sprayed the underside of the bottom with brake cleaner as well. And then, following Brandon's instructions, I'm going to use the non-aromatic stuff. Yeah, I bought this on eBay. Permatex, there it is. Brandon's Garage, Permatex. This seals without air, and this is what he uses for just this part. I haven't seen him use this on anything else so far. Just the part that never hits air, it seals altogether. So I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to put it on here, staying at least 1/4 inch away from any channel, which is here. Let's see if I can point to it. Channel, 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 channel. This is where all the oil goes to lubricate the shaft, and we're going to keep it away from there. So there's a channel here. We're going to keep this stuff away from that. You know, we're gonna seal it. We're gonna keep it away from there so it doesn't squeeze into. We don't want to seal this channel here. So we'll be adding it here, but we'll be staying away from there. There's a little, you can see it. See the gap there? That's where the oil goes in to oil the crankshaft. So we're gonna stay away from that. But we're gonna put a thin layer all the way around and on the other side. Brandon also uses this aviation gasket for the two center ones. That's this guy here. Puts the aviation gasket on those two center ones, torques them for. Okay, boys and girls, so this was the motor I thought didn't have a prayer, because it wouldn't go all the way down and back up, but I know it's hard to see this, but I got full rotation under the flywheel. I'm spinning the top just to check for binding and everything. All the way down, all the way up. The 7.5 may have a prayer. We will see what happens. The water pump housing on the 7.5. This is plastic. It's a little weird. It's got a smaller impeller. I could have went with the traditional one. I have an extra impeller as well, but I figured let's throw the original equipment on there. Plus, he's got the nice bolts instead of flathead screwdriver. So obviously, this was worked on before. But this one's easy. The 7.5 has the pinion like setup already in there. So the drive shaft comes out. You set everything on the drive shaft, and it works. You set everything on the drive shaft, and then you just flip the drive shaft over and into the slot. It's a lot easier than the other ones where if the shaft is on, then you gotta put the thing on and rotate and everything else. So it's on, it's ready to go. We just gotta finish putting up the gears together. They're all apart over there somewhere. So we just had a little bit of time before work. I figured I'd throw the water pump together. Okay, 7 1/4, waiting on some gaskets. Meanwhile, put the mag plate together. 2 new coils, 2 new condensers, wired it up. I saved the wires. I clipped the ends. The ends look corroded, so I just snipped off the ends, revealed some brand new copper, and we're gonna run with the older wires. It should be fine. So mag plates together. So we showed you the vacuum cap. We sealed up the one side. That's putting the vacuum here. So the vacuum line is gonna go from here to our fuel pump. Picked that up on eBay. It's like a regular lawnmower, 8 horsepower fuel pump, cheap, $6. Vacuum line will go here, and then the inlet and the outlet for the fuel. So one will go to the carburetor, the other one will go to the inlet. Okay, the 7.5 is here, assembled, ready to be put on the power head. I put my drive shaft assembly back together. Next is the power head gasket, and we're going to put this in the Evinrude gasket sealing compound, and then we're going to put everything on together. So only one way this can go. There's no way to put it backwards, so to speak. And we're going to place the cleaned up power head right on top and spin the prop. We're going to put it in gear so that I can spin the prop if the gears aren't aligned. I put some grease on the top. This is the triple guard grease that one of the other YouTubers use. Bought that on eBay. Evinrude triple guard grease. See? Spun that prop. And right down. Okay. So it's down. I'm going to leave it kind of suspended. It can go down a little more. Before I do that, I would like to grab a bolt and put it through at the bottom so that I can make sure I'm grabbing the block through the gasket so I'm not breaking the gasket. There's one. So I got 3 in. Everything's lining up nicely. We're going to put the screwdriver up under this one. So I'm going to tighten up the screws. I'm just going to tighten these 2, and then we can pop the flywheel back off. There's parts to go on before that goes on. I don't even think that's the right flywheel. I think it's the 5.5. 5.5, 7.5, probably the same. In the meantime, I put my carburetor kit in. I can officially begin putting on my baffles. I can essentially, this motor's ready to be put back together 100%. Fingers crossed. I'm just gonna tighten down the block bolts. This is where we find out, separate the men from the boys, to see if I accomplished anything in all of this. Well, let's see if we got compression, or good compression, or even compression, or anything. Let's see what we got. This is the first official compression test. The verdict is, oh boy. Oh boy. That's a little heartbreaking. I'm showing 50. Oh boy. Okay. See if the other cylinder is 50. Okay. That's better. That's good.
Showing about 65. That's about 65 on that one. Might not be getting a full good compressed rotation. But again, 65, 70. 60, 70, 80. 70. Solid 70. I'll take 70. 70's not awful. The bottom cylinder. I'm not going to lie to you. I almost cried. On camera, I almost cried when I saw 40, 30. That means the rings are not right. It means the pistons are not good. It means the walls are worse. This one was in rough shape. If this one runs, it'd be a miracle. But still, all this hard work would be a heartbreaker. At least they start. Give me one solid 5-minute run. All right, bottom cylinder. Okay, that's a solid 80. 75 on this one. 70 and 75, maybe 76. 6 pounds off. I think that's within tolerance. We got generally localized, even compression. Okay, 2 things. In the 5.5 horsepower video, I had this installed backwards. I put it in the description, but if you were wondering, I had it like this. It's like this. Okay, flat side up. I said bevel side down and then proceeded to install it bevel side up. So that didn't make any sense. And then the other thing was, I was saying how on the other one, the Phillips screws were the hold down screws and the flatheads were for everything else. Well, this is a 55, so the earlier years does have all flatheads because Phillips had screws didn't come out until later. So I think the 70s. So you just have to know that 1 screw for the coil, 1 screw for the coil, and then the mag plate hold downs are here and here, and that those 4 will take the mag plate off. For the last video, so we're gonna show you how we hooked up the fuel pump in this one. Okay, $6. It's actually like a 15 horsepower rated pump. Briggs & Stratton. You can buy any horsepower pump as long as it's rated for the motor. It's got to have a vacuum section, an inlet, and an outlet. On this particular one, so the inlet from the fuel line is this out. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. This is the vacuum. So the vacuum's coming from the plate. Okay, so first thing you got to remember is where's the vacuum coming from? It's always coming from the plate. We put that vacuum cap in there to seal the one channel. Now it's vacuum at all times. The vacuum on this pump is on the outside. A lot of the other Evinrude pumps like this one, this is the inlet for the fuel. That's where I was confused. So vacuum on this pump is here. So mag plate plugged up with the vacuum cap creates a vacuum to the pump. The inlet for the fuel is this one. I have it routed backwards. It's on the bolt of the head. You know, it's not touching per se. It is close, but it shouldn't get hot enough to where it will burn through. But when you're hooking yours up, just be careful it's not touching spinning parts and or hot surfaces. All right, that's the inlet. So fuel's coming in. Sorry for the lighting. Fuel's coming in, creating a vacuum and pumping it out. I have the out one also running back. This one goes all the way to the bottom of the carburetor. Okay, and then I just bolted it to the side of the plate here. All right, we're gonna test start this one anyway. Let's see if it starts. I have time. Spins nice. Choke's on. Right here. Okay. Kicked over. Trying to start it slow because everything's new. Pumping water. Two ain't bad. Water excellent. Goes into gear. Haven't messed with the needles yet. I got them based at a space setting. 1.5 out for the slow speed and 3/8 out for the high. It's better than a 5.5. 5.5, we're going to have to put a carb kit in it. It's the only difference I did between that one and this one. I'll put a carb kit in this one. Guys, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Don't forget, $50 giveaway when we hit 1,000 viewers. Thanks for watching Blackout Bill. We'll see you in the next one.